So here we have Link doing a pose. It looks like he's about to swing his sword at this Guardian, who looks like Link's already been attacking him because it seems that he has an arm missing. We haven't really seen a Guardian like this in actual gameplay, so what are your first thoughts on this?
Oh my gosh, dude. Guardians with lightsabers. Those are my first thoughts. It's just like, holy crap. And can I pick that up? Can I use that if I cut it off? That's another thing that I want to figure out here.
Yeah, because even we've seen in the gameplay from E3, even if you're fighting Skulltula, whatever they're called, I can't think of their names right now, but if you cut off one of their hands, you can even use their arm as a weapon.
Oh, the Stahlbach goblins.
Alright.
I don't know.
Whatever they're called.
Stahlbach goblins.
The game makes you think that since you can pick up their arms and use it as a weapon, perhaps you can pick up his arm and use it as a weapon. And another thing I would like to point out that I just now noticed, usually the light from Link's Sheikah Slate glows blue, or like the same blue color that you see all around the shrine right now. But if you look at it here, it has that orangish reddish glow to it. Similar to the one that the Guardian's given off.
That's true. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. I've never noticed an orange glow coming from the Sheikah Slate. So I wonder if whenever these enemies are around, if the Sheikah Slate can somehow interact with it or sense one's around. It would be really cool because the Guardians, obviously they seem like, you know, if there's one, sometimes two around, they're going to be pretty difficult to defeat. So most of the time you might just want to stay clear of them, or at least if you're low on health or something. So if at one point the Sheikah Slate does get a function to where it's normally blue, but once it starts glowing that reddish orangish color, then you can know that, hey, there's an active Guardian around here, and to be sneaky or try to avoid it.
So, similar to that, I think people pointed out that it might be the Sheikah Slate itself that activates the Guardians around Hyrule. So you could be right with that.
Yeah,
that
like
there
once
is
you
that.
get in like a certain proximity, they somehow communicate with each other.
But I mean, but other than that, I mean, this scene is pretty simplistic. We've got Link with this almost Ocarina of Time-esque pose.
Yeah.
I think I've seen somebody compare the two poses, and he's almost in the exact same pose there. I mean, we've got, you know, just the regular looking shrine here. You've got a door back there that many people have pointed out that obviously it looks like you're gonna have to beat this Guardian for that door to unlock.
Yeah. And how do you think you will defeat this Guardian? Because I always think of the Guardians, to me, they remind me of an advanced form of the Beamos from like Skyward Sword or Ocarina of Time. Because they're robotic. Once they see you, they shoot the laser. The only way to defeat them is to shoot them in the eye. And then in Skyward Sword, you had to slice them in a certain angle in order to kill them. And with this, it looks like you're going to have to aim for like the center section of it to cut off its arms, and then maybe once you cut off all the arms, the head shrinks back into the body, and then you fight it like normal.
Yeah, I think it's gonna, like you're saying, it's gonna be a two-stage thing. You gotta take the arms out first, and like the concept art of the Guardian, you know, with these lightsaber looking swords coming out, there might be more than just one, and we can see on the right hand side it looks like Linky's either cut one off or it hasn't retracted yet.
Yeah,
so you know, he could have 3 of these blades, and you got to go around and cut all of them off first, and then he closes, and then you take them out the same way.
Yeah, I would also like to point out this, to my knowledge, is the 4th type, which this may just be one of the small ones, and that maybe some can extend like this and have the different methods of attacking. But if you count this as its own guardian, this makes 4 different types of guardians that we've seen, because we know there's the large ones that are running around Hyrule Field trying to attack you, and you know, the first trailer that we've seen had the big guardian chasing Link, and then we've seen the small guardians inside the shrines that you have to fight. And then there's this type of guardian that has the extra attack features. And then there's the giant guardian. I'm pretty sure we've all seen the shadow of, or at least the shape of it, crawling around Death Mountain.
Yeah. And that one could you know, very well have something similar to this. You know,
yeah, to where it extends into having different functionality.
Yeah, and you know Zelda Pod Smashers, right?
Yeah, I know their YouTube channel.
They did a video talking about that guardian going around what looks to be Death Mountain.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how it could possibly be a scorpion shaped guardian.
Oh,
he zoomed in on it pretty well and gave a lot of evidence to, you know, allude to the fact that it might just be a scorpion-shaped guardian, which would be pretty awesome to see.
Yeah. Also, I would like to mention, since we're on the subject of that giant guardian, I made a new outro for my YouTube channel, which the people that are watching can see it at the end of this video. But a long time ago, Nintendo put out like a 20-minute scene where it's just Link standing on the cliff that most of the gameplay takes place around, and it goes from night to day to night or whatever, and then at night you see the meteorite or whatever hit the ground. So if everybody is familiar with that, what I did is I took that 20 minutes of footage and sped it up to where the whole thing takes place in like 2 minutes. So I basically sped it up times 10. And when I did that, you can clearly see a pattern. Like there's a certain pattern that giant guardian has when he walks around Death Mountain. Like there's a specific path that he takes at a specific time of the day. As I think he circles around twice a day, and then he always has the same spot. So maybe if there's like a dungeon or a certain shrine, something of importance at the very top of it, if you don't want to face him, maybe you have to wait until that certain time that he's on the other side of the mountain, and then you have to hurry and make your way to the top. But yeah, going back to the shrine, obviously this looks like one of the puzzles to where you have to defeat all of the enemies in the room, and then the gate unlocks. There's an orange glow behind the gate. You can't really tell what that is. Maybe it's another puzzle or another guardian or something. The Lens of Truth you can clearly see on the wall above the gate, and to me, there's a lot of people saying that this reminds them of more of a dungeon, but for me, I hope this is not a dungeon. I hope this is just a normal shrine, because I like the idea of all of the shrines. Obviously, Nintendo had to reuse like the same type of atmosphere, color palette, and everything, so they could hurry and make these 100 different shrines, because if they tried to make each of them unique and stand out, it would take a lot longer to make 100 completely different shrines. So I hope this is just one of the typical shrines that we come across, and then the dungeons will actually be like the forest dungeon or the fire dungeon. They'll have their own theme to stand out from these shrines.
Yeah, I would think that, you know, this is most likely a shrine. I would be very disappointed if it was a dungeon, because dungeons always have their unique characteristics to them.
Yeah.
And if they got rid of that in this game, I'd be fairly disappointed in that. I mean, yeah, a big dungeon's awesome, and I understand that, like you were saying, they're trying to get all these shrines done. If they use the same scheme for all the dungeons, it would take that special feeling that you get when you go into one. I mean, like even Skyward Sword made it apparent to give you a cutscene right before you enter a dungeon to just make it that much more epic that you're going into this like special place.
Yeah.
Really
quick, looking at the concept art, it doesn't look much different. Like it just looks like 3 different types of blades. One to me looks like a can opener. That's interesting, I guess. But it doesn't look like there's anything that really stands out from the concept art and the actual thing. It just looks like basically the same thing that we're seeing, but obviously worn down by Link, damaged a little bit. And then maybe like this concept art is showing the one Guardian with 3 different blades. I imagine that you'll see a Guardian that looks like this, and it may have one type of blade, or another may have a different type of blade, and then that way they all don't look the same. But I don't imagine them all having 3 of these blades each.
No, I don't see them having those either. I just solely for details here, I think they added more. Just like they added the head decorations on this one, and then we don't see it here unless, you know, Link cut part of those off or something. I don't know.
I think they're just like small aesthetic changes to make that way they all don't look the same. And
exactly.
I guess with that we're done with our second image. We can go to the one of Link standing on the rock looking out to where it looks like the different seasons or whatever.
Okay.
I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you liked it, give this video a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss out on future gaming news, theories, rumors, and discussions. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on how it could be improved. Your feedback is the most important part of bringing the quality of content on this channel to be the best that it can be. I would like to take this time to give a huge thank you to this month's Patreon supporters: Jonathan, The Edge Network, Magic Tech Review, John Frank, and Harris Priest. This video was made possible by supporters on Patreon. If you would also like to support this channel, head over to patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can support this channel as well. Rewards vary from having your topic featured on a future discussion, seeing videos early, joining as a guest on a video, shoutouts, and having a custom avatar similar to my own drawn of you to match any video game or anime art style that you would like. Mine is of myself as Link, but you could choose to have yours any way that you would like. Finally, I would like to thank my friends CS Guitar 89 and Nomo Designs for providing the music and artwork for this video.